Hey guys, it's Miko from Ammo Sound Lab, and today we'll be looking at how to use amped bass in a very crowded metal mix. Let's check it out. Okay, if you didn't notice, last week we released amped bass, which obviously is a bass plugin for the amped AmpSim plugin line. And I have a mix, a very crowded metal mix here that I want to show you and how I would tweak this plugin to fit the mix. This is what the song sounds like. Okay, so this is kind of a very quick track. We only have 2 tracks of guitar, 1 track of bass, and a very generic drum sound going on. Not a lot of mixing going on, just showing you how the bass will sound in the mix. So what I've essentially done here is use the clean DI bass that is still compressed for the low end, and then a driven sound for the high end of the bass, and blending the two. The kind of small secret here is that the compressor will be a part of the DI signal. So you can actually compress the DI signal with the compressor, and that's pretty cool. So this is essentially what the DI sounds like. And this is without the compressor. And that's my Dingwall bass. If I turn on the compression, it's a more even kind of a sound. Now, that is not the sound that you heard on the track before, because that also had the driven sound on it. But let's just listen to what it sounds like without the drive sound at all. So this is just the low end of the bass. So yes, without the drive, you still have the bass there, you still have the low end doing its thing, and it's a full low end, but for a song like this that is kind of almost like a Slipknot type of a song, you really don't get that growl or grindy tone that you really want to have in a bass tone. So let's just turn the DI off and have a listen to what the drive bass actually sounds like. So this is just the bass sound and the drive signal. So as you can hear, that is not tight, and driven bass rarely is tight. So the trick here is to kind of have this tone, this driven tone, be kind of a brighter tone, and then not even trying to rely on the low end of this signal to be the low end of the track, but instead blend in that clean DI signal and get kind of the best of both worlds. I think we just need to realize that bass is better for the low end, and guitar is better for the high end. So the high end will not try to compete with the guitars in the high end. That's not the purpose of having a driven bass tone. The purpose is to have kind of a better gel with, or glue, let's say, a better glue with the guitars. So let's just listen to the guitars and let's blend in that driven signal to where it sounds good. So somewhere around there. And the cool thing with the DI function here is that this completely bypasses this output knob as well. So this is completely a different volume for just the DI signal. So now we can kind of hear that, okay, the bass is really helping the guitars out, but now we don't have that low end that we need for this track. So let's start blending in some of that DI while just listening to the guitars and the bass. And that's pretty much it. So there's not really much to it. Obviously you can tweak the bass, middle and treble knobs as much as you want and get exactly the kind of drive tone that you want. It's very simple. You only have 3 knobs essentially. Just to point out, I'm not even using the cabinet section for this. This rack unit that this model is based on is actually not being used with cabinet simulation. So that is the sound that, you know, many of the records will have without the cabinet section. So that is the driven sound, and now with the DI signal blended in, it sounds full. If we turn down the DI, you'll quickly hear kind of the low end and the balls of the mix essentially disappear. So and now with the drums, let's have a listen to the full mix. If we didn't have the DI here, it would sound like this. If we didn't have the drive bass, we would have nothing. I've really tried to make it as simple as possible. With just a turn off a few knobs, we have ultimate control even in a very demanding mix. Let's kind of remember that when we have high gain guitar and crowded drums with a lot of reverb and stuff like that, the bass kind of doesn't have a place to be. So if we have a driven high end for the bass, it still cuts through and supports the guitars in the high end. And with the clean DI signal that's still compressed, we get a very even low end that is clean and pure. No cabinet simulation on this, once again. So what we have is a very, very easy to use tool for making your bass actually make your mix sound really awesome. That's pretty much it, and see you on the next one. Thank you for watching the video. Remember to like the video and the algorithm stuff will thank me. And subscribe if you haven't already. I know a bunch of you are actually not subscribed, so thank you for watching videos, but if you subscribe, it would mean the world to me personally. Thank you so much for watching the video, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.